people thought it was going to be a comparison him and Verts and Mbappe. I told you guys at the start of the season, we ain't looking at Verts. We're looking at Mbappe. I told you this. I told you this.
Hey!
We have a bigger.
Someone get this guy.
We have a bigger target, bro.
What are you talking about now?
Comfortable at the Bernabeu. And do you know what's funny? People said big games he won't play. He won't play these. I thought he wasn't even going to start at the Bernabeu. But now he actually has that trust from
Chill
Pep.
on Mbappe, bro.
Chill
on Mbappe,
Pep trusts him because if you look at it, off the ball, he's working. Now, off the ball, he's nowhere near the level of Bernardo in his prime or Sterling's and all these stuff.
Yeah.
But he works. He works. Now I want to ask though, are you not seeing the natural talent I was talking about? He is the most, tell me right now, he is the most naturally talented player in the Premier League. Yes or no?
KDB's gone.
Oh yeah, KDB.
Yeah.
KDB.
You can't fault that. When we talk about technical proficiency.
All of a sudden, my shout ain't crazy.
But the thing is,
it's not crazy, is it?
Cam's is trying to flip this into a I'm right. Look, no one has ever doubted Cherki's talent, bro. No,
what?
But it's the
What do you mean?
Execution of the talent that people are waiting for.
Don't say that. His talent was doubted. His talent was doubted.
Listen.
Now you're
it's
seeing
the execution of that, because we've seen talented footballers before. Wait.
You ain't seen Ryan Cherki.
We've seen talented footballers before, and when they don't have the off the ball, as you're saying, they don't have that desire, and then on top of that, they go to a manager like Pep, who is renowned for quote unquote sucking the life out of these players or sucking the joy out of these players. Pause, I know.
What is going on?
What? Football! Alright, stay focused. Stay focused. But when you take all of those things, it's like, yo, how is he actually going to be able to execute his talent? So that's where the questions were. And then you decided to come out of nowhere and say, Mbappe is a guy who has executed.
It's not about that.
But that's
not about that.
What it's about.
But that's a misunderstanding.
That's the where the misunderstanding is happening.
But then this is the thing.
That's where the misunderstanding is happening.
But that's for stupid people, bro. That's for stupid people.
Smart
people know what I'm talking about. Natural talent doesn't have to mean with what you're talking about, the execution, and that's the application of it is amazing.
The raw ability.
Yes, it doesn't mean you have to be. Guys can be the best in the world.
What does raw ability do if you don't execute?
What do you mean? But that's what
does raw ability mean if you don't execute?
But the conversation is talent. If we're talking about talent, we're going to talk about what they have, their skill sets.
It's cute. But your talent means nothing if you're not doing something.
But that's not the conversation. If the conversation was who is the better player, come on, Mbappe is one of the best players in the world. But if you're talking about the talent, the skill set of this football player, Ryan Cherki is on a different sphere.
To take it back,
look at that technical ability, both feet. Which one should I use? Which one should I use today?
The thing is,
the IQ.
I understand.
Wizard.
I understand.
Stop this, bro.
You said Premier League.
If you go, if you go Power League, or if you go wherever you go, right, to play football,
because there's all providers.
Yeah. When you see the fastest player, do you say, oh, that's the most talented player here?
No.
You see the technical wizard and you're like, yo, this guy is
what I would say is
what you could do with the football.
What do you appreciate more, technical or physical?
But Fred, you see what you're saying,
the
reason why it bothers me is because I feel like sometimes agendas can be so powerful, right? We're talking about Cherki, we're acting like the season he came off for wasn't outstanding. The step that him and Lacazette did to save them wasn't outstanding.
He was the most creative player in Europe.
And then won the trophy.
Other than Yamal.
And then won the trophy for the best dribbler, best assist, or whatever it was. The step that him and Lacazette did to save them was unbelievable. The thing that I have an issue with here is, to a certain extent, it does come down to the appearance of someone, because really and truly, I'm not comparing the two. The appearance of someone. Because it was like, oh, sheesh and whatnot. Because back in the day, when everyone was talking about, oh, Hazard was great and what, everyone was like, oh, he's in the French league, he's looking a bit chubby, what's this youth gonna do?
But that's great.
The thing is,
talent. That right there is.
But there was execution.
With the execution.
No, but
why do people think that Ryan Cherki was just some freestyler that Man City?
He was provided.
They act like he was. You really think Pep is just gonna wake up one day and sign some random freestyler and just play him? No, you had to be a super talented player. People act like he didn't do anything before he got it. He did things, bro. He did things.
He was even killing for France under 21.
Bro, look what he came and did at Old Trafford when he played with Lyon, bro. This is a top footballer. Now, I'm not, by the way, saying Mbappe is just at speed. Mbappe's got the IQ to score goals. You have to have IQ, etc. No. Obviously, he's got ball striking ability, etc. But what you can do with the football, what you can do with this, there's no way you think what you could do with this. Mbappe can do more of this at their feet.
For me,
the thing is, you said
and Yamal.
Do you know with me? Yeah, I think
Yamal and these are.
No, but when you have insane technical ability like that, I always think the great equalizer for me is freakish athleticism, and that for me, Mbappe has.
That's fair.
That for me, I've always looked at it as like, you can have those people who prefer the technical players or whatever, but the great equalizer for me is always insane athleticism.
Yeah, but then,
and I think Mbappe, like Haaland even, insane athleticism.
No, but I hear that, but then why
because people look at Haaland and what would you say? Because he doesn't have the technical ability like that, he's not talented.
I fully understand what you're saying, right? Yeah. But everybody knew when I was talking about that, I wasn't factoring in like the freakish athleticism. I've always said Mbappe is the sharpest player I've ever seen, and I've ever seen in terms of just he's so sharp, right?
That's a funny
But what I don't understand is when you're saying freakish athleticism and stuff, like Cristiano Ronaldo is probably the peakest athlete we've seen. Yeah. People try and say that he's not more talented. If you start talking about the most talented people don't even put Cristiano Ronaldo in these conversations. Do you get where I'm coming from? Because they know 9 times out of 10 when you're talking about talent, you're talking about that gift with the ball.
Yeah.
Do you get where I'm coming from? Because if you're talking about the peakest athlete of all time, then Ronaldo should be in top 5 conversations of the most talented players of all time. But when people are talking about Neymar's, Ronaldinho's, R9's, Messi's, Maradona's, they don't put him in them conversations. So that's execution for me. That's hypocritical. Not on your part. But that's hypocritical. Then you can't say, oh, Ronaldo's not one of the most talented players, but then use Mbappe's freakish athleticism as his boost.
No, I agree
with that. That's not fair. But you look at Messi. You look at Ronaldo, Messi is clearly the most more talented player, despite Ronaldo being the most...
I feel like you get it with both ends of the spectrum, though, and that's why it comes down to execution again, because those freak athletes you get, for example, a Theo Walcott, he didn't really harness that freak athleticism, in my opinion. That's why he never hit those heights, whereas someone like a Sterling, he harnessed that kind of freakish speed that he had. That's why he went on to be the player. For me, it's how you harness that talent. But whether it's the freak athleticism, whether it's that freakish technical ability that Cherki had, those that execute it and harness it, those are the ones we end up lauding and giving the flowers to.
For me, that makes you a better player.
Yeah,
you're a better player. Like Mbappe is a better player than Cherki. Yeah. I'm not crazy, bro. Like, I'm not gonna say that, right? Mbappe is a better player, but
in terms of raw talent.
Bro, in terms of when you came out the womb, when you came out the womb, it looks like a ball came out with you, bro.
Cherki does look like he came out the womb doing kick-ups.
Bro,
I can't lie.
In the umbilical cord, Cherki was doing kick-ups in the umbilical cord.
With his twin head.
Umbilical cord.
His twin didn't make it.
Bro, get out of here, bro. Get out of here.
Bro's getting volleyed, bro. In the womb.
Cherki's first words were football. His first words were football. Football. Mbappe's first words. Mbappe's first words was, you know what I mean, like track star. You know what I'm joking.
Hey, no. Listen, I hope Cherki goes on to become a great player for your sake. Your sake.
What I would say is because initially you were saying Premier League. This super chat from AJ says Foden and Cherki are the 2 most technically gifted in the Premier League, which is
I'll be real. Foden's the one I've always looked at.
The most 2 technically.
Foden's always been the one I looked at.
I guarantee you, Foden will say, bro, I'm a good dude, but you see this Ryan brother.
Yeah.
Let me just.
And that's the thing is, I always used to look at Foden like he's a cut above. Yeah.
Levels, no levels.
But Cherki's technical.
What was the game for France where he came onto the pitch and everyone
the cameo?
Everyone said, what the fuck are we watching? What
was
the
second international break.
And the reason why, again, I think ultimately talent is subjective, but we're talking about like footballing ability. Do you get where I'm coming from? Like innate ability to ball manipulation and do things with the football. And I think sometimes the reason why people probably got like hard done by your take was because they're thinking, hold on, did you not see the World Cup final when Mbappe was going crazy and whatnot? And the thing is, yes, that's peak performance, but it's not. It's not talking about specifically about these small little crazy innate details of football.
I always say it, like,
but again, that's why it's subjective, because some people prefer that.
And this isn't about, listen, again, if it was a conversation about who's the best player, it's not even a conversation. I wouldn't write. It's like you look at Frank Lampard, Frank Lampard, I'm not saying that Mbappe is more talented than Lampard, but Lampard is one of the greatest Premier League midfielders of all time, but he's not the most talented Premier League midfielder of all time. Despite him, if you do a top 5 list, he might be even number 1 on some people's list. But he's not the most talented midfielder of all time just because he applied himself the best.
Former pros.
You know where I'm coming from?
Former pros, especially all of the England.
Application doesn't necessarily mean.
No, but what I'm saying is that it's like when you talk talent,
that for me matters though.
It's when you hear footballers talk like there's a bunch of former England players. The first thing they say to you is Joe Cole was above anything we ever saw, because the ability was like nothing they had seen
Footballers
before.
see the game a lot differently. You speak to footballers about this stuff. I promise you they're all on my side, bro. I promise you, bro, they're all on my side, bro. Listen to anyway. As I said, the football will do the talking. Let's
go to some super chats. Brooklyn says, "Nah, Cherki's first words were the Cruyff turn." That's funny.
What's the chat saying actually? What do they think on this?
There's different things. Some people are saying rest. Some people are saying different stuff. Cherki's insanely talented. It's a mixed bag in there. They said Haaland's first word was goal.
Literally, bro. Facts. Shoot.
Goal.
Eli said, Fuad, this is worse than Nuno. I can't believe my eyes. I've shot off the last 4 games this season.